Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a little bit of a different video, and it's more on my thoughts and opinions on the future of Hockey Ultimate Team and some things that I'd love to see changed going forward in the game. This is the first year that I've really had this is like a full-time job, so I've played Hockey Ultimate Team, for a few hours every day basically since launch, and obviously I've gotten burnt out and whatnot. That's just bound to happen with any video game. But there's one thing that's happened this year that is far more prevalent, I think. I've watched probably more hours of NHL esports than literally anyone else, and I've seen it at the highest level. I've seen it also just in, I'm a mediocre at above average at best player now. This season specifically, but there's an kind of an overarching similarity across all gameplay, the meta this year, and I think it has really stemmed from the fixes to the AI this year, where they basically removed the ability to sit in your zone and have your AI attack in the defensive zone. So what skill zoning was essentially, now everyone in this is before I finish this is going to be like, skill zoning is so big, it's still doable. It's really not. I think that skill zoning is a term that a lot of people don't even understand what it is. Now, if you don't know what skill zoning is, essentially it came really big in NHL 18, where you basically would have these AI, you would set your AI to heavy aggressiveness, you would take your centerman or whatever position really, and you would sit dead center in the middle, and you would let your AI go out and attack and pressure, and what happened in NHL 18 was they would auto-pin you along the boards. So if your computer got anywhere near someone on the boards, and you would just have relentless forecheck, relentless, pressure in the defensive zone, they would just hold up along the boards, you'd switch to that player, and then you'd be able to get it. And it was brutal, because you would just have people not playing defense at all, really. They would just sit in the middle. What happened now is they removed, in NHL 19, they removed auto-holding along the boards, so that no longer happened, which was great. But then in NHL 20, they took it even a step further, and they essentially removed the AI's ability to attack the puck. So if you slow down and actually watch, the majority of gameplay, I would say, obviously there's going to be times where something happens and the computer does actually knock you off the puck. But if you watch someone who is skill zoning, and I mean just sitting in the middle and having their AI pressure you in the defensive zone, their AI can pressure you all they want, but all they're really going to do is just be near you. Like, they won't actually attack the puck. They will go after the body a little bit, and obviously you can get bumped off the puck, but it's not very frequent, and you really have to play manual defense to excel at this game. Now, what that has caused is essentially the meta now to score is one-timers. You can hold off the AI and just circle around in the zone and around, and eventually, if someone's not playing defense or if they overcommit, they're going to leave an open one-timer, and that's really the go-to method to score, and that's kind of how it's always been, but there's less and less short-side wristers. Like, that was, for like a decade, I feel, the short-side wrister was the only goal you would score, and there's just less of that now, because the meta is just circle around in the corners or circle around the boards or cycle in the zone. And behind the net, for example, behind the net was really never used. Either was crash the net. It was always overload. And this year, the meta has almost eliminated overload from being a useful strategy. Obviously, there are people that can use it. For example, like Josh Fearless is still an old-time vet at this game that's amazing at the game and still uses overload. John Wayne as well. But there's very few and far between. A lot of people have switched to behind the net, and for good reason, because of how cycling works. Now, what this has also caused is, if your AI is smaller, you won't even get those bumps. So now all we have are these gigantic players, because everyone will just, there's no use in using a smaller player, because a bigger player will just, can bump you off the puck super easy. They're the same in terms of speed and skating. And there's just no advantage to using a Johnny Gaudreau, over someone like Blake Wheeler. Same-handedness, I'm just using it off the top of my head. So that's the big issue, and especially on defense. Like, if you take a look at my team right now, there's a reason why, Victor Hedman, a 90 Tyler Myers, and this is a Dano Chara card. This is a Dano Chara card specifically. I did a video on the best cards in NHL right now. This is the literal best card. And if anyone wants to argue with me, that's fine. I don't care. You're just wrong. Like, there's, this card, when you're playing against it, it's almost damn near impossible if you have someone who's competent at denying zone entry. Get around with this card. You can hold the puck out wide and not get bumped off because of its balance, puck control, and size. it's just an overpowered card. Now, its shot accuracy is obviously trash, but again, if we're talking in terms of just playing defense, this is the best card in the game, and because he's got a 7-foot reach as well. And every card is like that too. Like I said, this Tyler Myers has holes in its game, and there are far higher rated cards than him, but he's 6'8", 230 with 99 balance. It's just and 99 speed. So it's created this meta where you can only use big players. And so recently I started playing MLB just because MLB came out. I'm a big fan of MLB. I've never really played Diamond Dynasty online. I've always just played Road to the Show ever since MLB's come out. And this year I kind of made it a concerted effort to actually play the game mode. And I got to say, it's amazing. Everyone always says that. The Diamond Dynasty mode is probably one of, if not the best Ultimate Team mode among all sports games. And for good reason. The content in it is unmatched, but when you're grinding for all these cards and you pack all these cards, the sport is obviously far different, but there's a value in every single stat. Whereas in NHL, what we have now is, first, are they big? If they're under 6 foot at this point, it's almost like just completely ignore it, which sucks because some of the best players in the NHL are under 6 feet. It's basically, how big are they, what's their speed, and their shot. And it's been like that for years in terms of speed and shot and whatnot, but this year more than ever, it's almost at a detriment to use smaller players. Like, there's just no benefit to it at all. So what I was thinking, and there's been talks and whatnot, we get asked all the time, as a game changer, we get asked our opinions, and I thought I would make a video to see what you guys actually think of this, because I kind of came up with something that I thought in talks with the developers and whatnot. I just kind of stumbled upon, what if there was builds? Let's say you have a Zdeno Chara card. Okay, so we're looking at this is the biggest card in the game essentially. So he's 6'9", 250. Now, he can skate, or there are large people that can skate very fast. So I'm not even talking about speed, but let's say if you want to give the largest player in the game 99 speed, that's fine. But if someone is over, let's say, 6'3", their agility should be capped. And what I mean by that is maybe start with their base card or whatever. You do them based on, start with 99s. So if a 6 foot player, which would be the average height, 6 foot, they can be a 99 in essentially every category in the game. Okay, now they're obviously not going to be as beneficial at knocking people off the puck as someone who is larger, so they're already going to have a knock against them, but they can hit a 99 in every stat category. If you have someone, say, 6'5" and over, cap their agility at, let's say, again, this is for a 99 card, and you scale backwards at the beginning of the game. Let's say you cap their agility at 84. There is no way anyone that is 6'9" can make cuts and make the essential turns and whatnot that a Johnny Gaudreau or Patrick Kane can do. It is not done in the NHL, and I don't see why it should be able to be done in Hockey Ultimate Team. So what I'm saying is, cap their agility at 99. So say they're 99, their agility can only go to a maximum of 84. Okay, let's just say that is the number. I don't know the number, but it's far lower than 99. You are going to then have anyone that has a 99 agility card that's smaller be able to make those cuts back and forth in the zone, actually be able to move around these behemoths and actually be usable. And this could go for anything. So, I mean, the shot stats, anyone who's large can shoot, anyone who's small can shoot, so those shouldn't be touched. But the skating specifically, I think that would really, benefit and allow all of these cards to be used. So if someone is under, let's say, 6'3", it would be very tough because I can't think off the top of my head someone who's extremely large that is just one of the best skaters ever. I know Chris Kreider's pretty good because he's the fastest skater in the world essentially, 6'1", 192. So his build can hit 99 in all skating categories. Okay, and maybe not in balance. Maybe only the larger guys could get 99 in balance, but not very hard. I'm talking 95 maybe for the balance stat. It just allows them to have that, extra value because these large guys, you can't eliminate the gigantic players from the game. And I think that the argument to saying, okay, so let's not just put Chizens or random Taylor Dohertys in the game, I think that's dumb too because it's fun content. I think that this content in Hockey Ultimate Team this year has been its best it's ever been. I'm talking in terms of the events they've run, all the different types of cards and whatnot, the fantasy cards, the integration with the actual NHL, the fact that there's no Evo cards, but the fantasy cards that tied into the actual real-life NHL, that's fantastic. I think that it's been extremely good when you compare it to the last few years of Hockey Ultimate Team, specifically the last 2 years. And I think that they've done a fantastic job in terms of new content, but I think that there needs to be a way to make the large guys still have use, and they do because of their size. So if you have someone who is very, very good defensively that I'm going to use this as an example, Daddy Padre, who's been a top player in this game for, again, like a decade, he plays so ridiculously slow with gigantic guys on his team that he does not need or care about speed. It's insane to me. But so that would be the one side of the scale where you have someone who's amazing with it, but it would allow him to still be able to use those cards. But then if he's playing someone who's got Johnny Gaudreau's, and again, I'm just using him as an example because it's kind of the perfect person, or maybe a flashback St. Louis who's got 99 agility, speed, and acceleration. In the zone, if someone is really good with the L2s, dekes, spins, all that cuts, he can really work against someone that is just trying to flick up and get close with a gigantic guy. And it's just something that I think would fix. Now, all the other stats, I don't think that you would need to have a cap or a build for. I just think that it would help for the larger guys as you scale upward in size to cap their agility and their acceleration. Like, there's no one that's 6'5" or above that can take off like Nathan McKinnon or McDavid or Gaudreau or St. Louis or anyone like that. So it's just something that I think would really, really benefit. I don't know the amount of work that it would take. I don't know if it'd be easy as just printing out a template and then inputting it. Those are things I haven't discussed, but I want to hear your guys' take on it specifically, because again, if it's something that a lot of you guys think is a good idea, maybe I'll, I know there are some developers that watch my content, just throw that in there and show them, hey, this would be something that would work. So let me know what you guys think in terms of the gameplay going forward, if that would actually be benefit. Would builds in Hockey Ultimate Team help with the current meta of just gigantic guys? So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And please, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Daily HUT content, no matter what. I'm going to be getting into MLB a little bit as well. But again, guys, thank you for watching. And please give the video a like and give me a comment on what you guys think. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.